What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pro Real Estate YouTube channel. So today we're talking about avoiding 3 mistakes when building or running a real estate team. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and comment, like, subscribe, share if you got any value from this episode. But other than that, I want to jump right in. Jake, what's going on, man?
Not much. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Just coming off of the holiday days, all
Yeah.
that food, pie, all that kind of stuff. It's been kind of wild, man. So I wanted to get together with you today and jump on this video because I know a lot of teams, people are thinking about starting teams. 2023 is coming up, and some people are thinking about growing their team. So I thought this was an excellent video to shoot. And the first question, or I guess the first mistake that we see people doing is just building a team to build a team, just kind of for the ego per se. And they're not doing a lot of deals. They just kind of want to get a group of people together and then slap a team logo on there and go out there and do real estate. What's your thoughts on number one, not building out of necessity?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people in the industry that they see what other teams are doing, the success of teams, because that's really, in my opinion, the future of the industry is real estate teams, mega teams, multi-state teams. And so you get agents, they're like, hey, I'm gonna get my license and I want to build a team. And it's when I started my team 9-10 years ago, it was built out of necessity because it was just I had too many deals and too many hours being spent. I think I spent 80 hours a week my first year selling 30-40 homes, and I realized I needed help, and so I brought on an assistant slash buyer's agent and so forth. And so it was more built out of necessity. I didn't get into the business wanting to build a team. It just happened. Now, people could get into the business wanting to build a team, knowing that they were planning on building a team, but it's got to be done. You got to lead with revenue and need. You don't just bring on 4 or 5 people onto a team and think that it's going to just go unless you have the backing, the systems, and the process all in place already. But most don't. Most think, okay, I selling a home or two a month, and let's build a team. And so and they might bring in 3, 4, 5 agents to build a team, but they don't have things in place for those people. So
Yeah. And then as far as those, I don't want to dive too deep into the actual systems because we have other videos and we're creating other videos as we go. So we'll give you the how to solve that problem in another video. Number 2, financials, avoiding the mistake of not knowing your numbers. Speak to them on that.
yeah, like any other business, you really got to know your numbers. You got to know what approximately you're spending, on your business. And good rule of thumb for a solid real estate business is 33% generally in expenses of your GCI, your total GCI. So look, if you do have a team, then it's the team GCI, not just the portion that goes back to the team leader, the team leader's business. And so knowing those numbers, and once you know those numbers, you have to be real careful with splits. I think there's a lot of teams that get started and they might start their team splits a little too high, not realizing that they need to retain a certain amount to cover those expenses and generate a profit. Obviously, we're not in business to not generate a profit, and I think it's hard because agents look at a split like, oh, it's a 50-50 split or something, and they think, well, I'm doing all the work, I'm closing the deal, I'm doing all that, even though the team leader or the business is supplying the lead. But when you look at it, if expenses are 30% and it's a 50-50 split, the agent's getting 50% profit generally.
Mm-hmm.
Their expenses are normally covered by the agent, other than maybe cell phone and gas. But the profit for the team is only 20%. 50 minus 30% expenses. So it's not as equal there. So you got to be really careful. I think traditional teams are 50-50 splits. So you got to be careful not to overpay on those splits up front, because it's really hard to backpedal, right? It's hard to get an agent to say, hey, okay, I'm willing to take less. And so you've got to get creative in how you reward those agents. And what we're starting to do is rather than increasing splits, we're going to increase benefits. So
Mhm.
maybe it's, having a full-time showing assistant on hand for those rock star agents that, are doing high production, or maybe you're covering more of their expenses, or hiring a VA for those agents to save them time. Because really, at the end of the day, there's time being traded for money. And if we can help put more time into the agents' lives, then they're going to be able to generate more income or spend more time doing the things they love.
That's awesome. I love that. And then I guess a follow-up question to financials, just for myself out of curiosity. How often should a team leader be checking their financials, or how often do you check your financials? Is it an everyday thing? Is it monthly, quarterly?
Yeah, actual financials is monthly. We have a really good bookkeeper that does bookkeeping for teams across the country. So they have a really good pulse on what those numbers should look like. And they do a good job. We do look at our numbers in the way of our pipeline, what's in escrow, what kind of appointments are we having, because then you can really predict where you're going to end up at the end of the month. So you kind of get a feel for that. But yeah, mainly on a monthly basis, we get our full financials from our bookkeeper to analyze and look at what's going on, and compare it to last year and so forth.
Awesome. Love it. And then the third mistake, final mistake, which might be kind of a surprise to people, because everybody relates growth to being a good thing, right? Let's talk about growing pains and maybe growing too fast. Most may think that that's not a mistake, but it happens. It may not be a mistake, but you got to learn how to adjust to it, right? So talk to them
Sure.
about growing pains.
Yeah, and growing pains meaning, like, if you're growing too fast, you're bringing on too many agents on your team all at once. And there's multiple things that can happen with that. One, you just don't have the support to be able to onboard those agents, train those agents, and possibly even provide enough leads and business. Even though it's not all about the leads, there's still, that's a piece of the puzzle. Leads is a piece. You've got culture, systems, training, support, expenses, and so forth. But leads is a portion, and some people might not have those leads, especially if you're a smaller team and you're the team leader doing most of the production, and you bring an agent on. You really have to kind of start, the reason you brought an agent on is to free up some of your time. And so you're going to be handing off some of that business generally. I remember the first time I did, it was I handed off a buyer, and it was 3,000 out of my pocket to do that. But it was the turning point of our team. And so growing too fast, too many agents once, you can bring, the agents will come on, but then if they're not getting the full benefit of being on a team, you may not have them for long. And so then you're going to spend the time and resources on onboarding, doing some training, and then they're leaving. And part of the reason why we made a big change in the brokerage matters, it's, there's lots of brokerages out there, independent brokerages, large brokerages. We happen to be with EXP, and when we had our own brokerage when we moved to EXP, and part of that reason was because of the ability to leverage the company to help with the training, the support, and the benefits. With our company, and our agents get, stock, ownership, or they can buy in stock, they get stock awards. There's other revenue streams within our company. And so having those benefits to add on top of what Rockwell could offer was an additional, it was a big reason of why we made that move. And so having your onboarding, probably a couple of years ago, we really revamped our onboarding, because we started having people lining up wanting to join our team, and we had multiple people trying to help with that onboarding, the training, getting them set up on our systems, training them how to sell real estate, and so we decided to hire a full-time onboarding director that's their entire job, is to help an agent come on board, get all the administrative stuff taken care of, and work on, we have a full 90-day onboarding program for agents, and having that in place so that we could handle any influx of agents that were joining our team. we've expanded into other areas. Now we have an expansion director that works with those expansion areas and so forth. But you just start, I mean, when you're starting, it just depends on what size of a team you're in, or what size of a team you got. When you're a smaller team, it's the harder, it's normally the team leader handling a lot of those things, the onboarding, the training, the support. And so you have to take a little bit of your income and put it back in the business to make sure that you're set up for that growth.
And that's probably where you're starting to really pay attention to that 33% team GCI and margins on that. Just a bonus on this, because you had mentioned something about people lining up to come in and then having the onboarding program. So a bonus piece here, and then also with your brokerage of where we do business, retention. So when you have people, your team is growing, people are coming in, you have new talent coming in, you have people that are in your organization 5-10 years, and then now they're like, hey man, I want to go out and build my own team, or I want better splits, or so on and so forth. They just are rock stars, right? So what benefits did you see with your brokerage that helps with retention and not having to be a race to the bottom of splits? Because I feel like I've heard other team owners, when they have a rock star, their best thing to do is to give them a better split, give them a better split, give them a better split. And then ultimately you can only give so much before it hurts the team, right? So talk to me about that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously our brokers, we've got a unique advantage. It's kind of rare in the industry, and there's a whole revenue share portion to it. And so when a team member left our company, they went out on their own. That was kind of the end of it, right? They wanted to do their own thing. They built up a big business. With our brokerage now, there's still a revenue stream that continues from the actual brokerage. And so, it's more of a positive thing. If they really want to go out and build their team, their own team and their own business, then we're going to help them. I mean, obviously we stand behind them. Obviously we promote our agents to accomplish what they want. We want them to do everything they want. Now, I do believe if you have a really, really well ran team, that, a team member can build a team within a team, and they can leverage the team even better than, sometimes building their own team. Most of the time, someone's going out on their own to build their own team because of money or ego. And we have people that are starting to build their teams within our team with their own branding. They still use our Rockwell EXP logo, but then they have their own logo. But when you build your own team and you bring an agent on, you're fully responsible for that agent and making them, helping them be successful, right? And so they're there 100% of the time. Where if you're on our team and you need to apply leverage to your business, because the only reason you build a team is to apply leverage so that you free up time to do more and more and more. And on our team, we have a large team, and there's newer agents coming in. There's, people that are future rock stars on our team. And so our existing rock stars can leverage those agents on a one-by-one basis, on a one transaction here, without feeling the need to constantly feed that agent. And so they can hook up with an agent to help and leverage in their business, but not have to do that all the time. So I think there's an advantage there for team members within a team to leverage other team members and leverage the team in general to do more and more business. You're starting to see, 10, 20-year agents joining teams because they want it done for them. They want that freedom. They want to be able to leverage the team to be able to either do more business or put more time back on their calendar. So yeah, but if people do truly, and we've had people leave our team and build their own team, and they're highly successful, and it's a really positive experience for both of us. I'm helping them, and so like I said, we have that advantage with our brokerage because of the revenue share side of it.
Yeah, that financial alignment aspect continues running, which is it's a great thing for collaboration and so forth. Hey guys, that's all we have for you today. Those are the 3 common mistakes people make when they're building or running a real estate team. If you have any questions on what we discussed today and you want to dive a little bit deeper, we do offer some one-on-one calls. We're not coaches or anything like that. Nothing's paid. We have nothing to sell you. But if you want to collaborate, jump on our calendar in the link below on the Calendly there. Remember to comment, like, subscribe, and share this if you got any value. Share it with a friend. Jake, you got anything for them? Take them out, man.
No, I think we got a new year coming, and focus on the important things. Focus on your people, focus on your numbers, and take a little extra time in doing that, and you should have some success. So,
all right, that's a wrap.
Yeah,
See you guys next
take
time.
care. See ya.